Sometimes the only way to solve a bug is to change the way that you're thinking about the bug. You can bang your head up against the wall for days, only to realize that you were trying to solve the wrong problem. My application had a major bug, and at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how I solved it. Hey YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to another video in the series where I try to start a billion-dollar tech company. If you're new here, my name's Christian. I'm a software engineer based in Los Angeles, and on this channel, I talk about the lessons I'm learning as the solo founder of a micro SaaS company. Many videos ago, I talked about a problem that I was having building a Pomodoro application, and that problem was that the Pomodoros were inconsistent in length. Sometimes they were 25 minutes, sometimes they were 34 minutes, and sometimes they were up to 40 minutes in length. This is a pretty big problem if you're building an application that's purpose is to help people keep a better track of their time. But I thought the problem only affected some users some of the time. So I did what I said I was going to do in that video, and I ignored the problem. I did put in a log so that when each Pomodoro was completed, I logged the actual time that that Pomodoro took so that I could at least assess the problem in the future. Well, it's the future, and the data is in. It is a way bigger problem than I thought. Instead of affecting some users some of the time, it affects all users most of the time. So once I realized that, fixing this bug became my top priority. In my previous video, I talked about the ways I could solve this problem, and I laid out the pros and cons of each possible solution. But all of those options felt like a really heavy lift at the time, and I was afraid that I was going to have to completely re-implement the way that I was handling Pomodoros in my application. One thing I've realized since then is that I was thinking about Pomodoros as a timer instead of an alarm. Let me explain. The difference seems very small, but there is a difference. In the former, we're going to have to count each second until a cumulative 25 minutes has passed in our application. In the latter, each second we would check the current time and compare that difference to the time when we originally started the timer, and after 25 minutes has passed, we would ring the bell. Now, this has a larger impact on our application because then when the user is doing other stuff on their computer in another tab and our count function might not be able to fire, instead of having a delay on our timer, if we're checking the time, we will just skip a couple seconds, couple minutes, however long has passed. And this will ensure that all of our timers are actually alarms and they're 25 minutes in length consistently. In the beginning of this video, I promised that I was going to show you exactly how I solved the problem, so let's take a look at the code. Here on GitHub, we have a pull request into the use Pomodoro npm package, which was the npm package that I was using to power my application. I've since refactored, and I now just use a utility function in my application instead of this external dependency. But it was this pull request that I used to sort of model the way that I have my utility function set up. So the tick payload action type has been removed and instead added to the Pomodoro next action type. And in the case of that tick, instead of subtracting one from the timer, there's a payload added to that timer. And I believe that payload is going to calculate to take in the current time instead of just subtracting one and using like a counting approach that I talked about earlier. Hopefully that makes sense, but if you want to see more of the code for yourself, you can follow the link to GitHub I have in the description of this video. If you like this video, I think you'll like the other videos that I've been making as I've been building this application, and I also think that you're going to like the videos that I've got coming out in the near future, so please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.